All right, let's dive in. Today we're looking at Visions in the Stone by E.J. Gold.
Oh, yeah, this one.
It's a fascinating blend of, travelogue, archaeological adventure,
Yeah.
and this deep dive into esoteric knowledge and ancient civilizations.
Yeah, and what really struck me was Gold's personal approach. He's not just presenting dry facts, he's taking us along on his journey of discovery.
Yeah, I love how he starts the book with that crazy story about the inscription on the jar in Kurdistan.
Oh, right, the one about...
Lucius Claudius Hermippus.
Yes, living to 115.
Thanks to the breath of young women.
It's definitely an attention grabber.
I mean, at first I was like, wait, what?
It's like, is this literal? Or is there a deeper meaning here?
Yeah, is it a metaphor?
Possibly, maybe a lost practice or a symbolic representation of, I don't know, energy transfer.
I like that. It kind of sets the stage for the whole book, which is all about seeking hidden knowledge.
And the possibility of hidden guides.
Right. These beings from higher dimensions.
Not spatial dimensions, though, right?
Yeah, he's talking about different levels of consciousness or reality.
Like they exist just beyond our normal perception.
And he suggests that these guides are drawn to people who are actively seeking, those who are ready to question what they think they know.
The ones who are ready to push those boundaries.
So how do we find these hidden guides?
He talks about gateways, these access points to these higher dimensions.
And they can be accessed through, emotional states.
Right, even seemingly random coincidences.
Huh, interesting. And even hints at certain practices.
Which he keeps a little vague.
A little mysterious, yeah.
Yeah.
But these gateways, where do they lead?
To the Great Labyrinth.
The Great Labyrinth.
A complex network of interconnected realms and levels of reality.
Sounds intense.
It's definitely not a walk in the park.
And Gold really emphasizes the need for preparation and guidance.
Yeah, it's not something you just stumble into unprepared.
It makes me think back to that longevity story at the beginning. It's like a test. Are you willing to consider the unconventional?
To open your mind to possibilities outside of your normal framework.
Exactly. So it's not just about finding some hidden secret. It's about personal transformation, preparing yourself to even perceive what's hidden.
Yeah, to shift your consciousness.
And part of that preparation, he says, involves developing skills like psychometry.
The ability to access information from objects.
So like reading their energetic history?
Exactly. He talks about psychometrizing a tomb and receiving vivid visions of past events.
Which really challenges how we traditionally think about archaeology and history, wouldn't you say?
Absolutely. If we entertain the possibility of accessing the past in this way, it opens up a whole new dimension of exploration.
So if we can potentially access this knowledge from the past, how do we actually do it? Is there some kind of secret technique?
Well, that's where it gets even more intriguing. Gold introduces what he calls the science of keys.
The science of keys.
Using specific emotional and mental states to unlock information encoded in artifacts.
Wait, emotional keys? So different artifacts require different emotional states to be activated.
That's the idea. It's like each artifact is a lock, and the emotional state is the key.
What kind of emotions are we talking about?
It could be joy, apprehension, even humiliation.
So by cultivating specific emotions, we can, resonate with the artifact?
And unlock its hidden knowledge.
Okay, but this sounds a little risky, right?
Mm-hmm.
What if we accidentally open a door we weren't prepared for?
Gold acknowledges the potential risks and emphasizes self-knowledge and emotional control.
So it's not just about chasing thrills, it's about personal transformation.
Absolutely. The key lies within us, not just in some ancient ruin.
Mastering our inner world to access the outer mysteries.
Precisely. And this mastery leads to the inner circle of humanity, according to Gold.
The inner circle of humanity. Okay, I'm intrigued. What is this exactly?
Individuals who've reached a higher level of consciousness working together for a common purpose.
They've mastered the science of keys, navigated the great labyrinth.
And are using this hidden knowledge for something more.
So we're talking about a secret society of awakened beings shaping the course of human events.
Well, it's not quite that simple. We'll have to delve deeper into what this inner circle is actually doing with this hidden knowledge.
Okay, so we've got this inner circle of humanity, folks who've cracked the code to hidden knowledge and are using it for some greater purpose. What are they actually doing? Are they running the world from some secret headquarters?
Well, Gold suggests it's more nuanced than that. It's not about power or control, but stewardship, protecting knowledge, and guiding humanity toward a higher understanding.
So not some evil cabal.
No, not exactly. It's not about hierarchy or membership, but shared understanding, a common purpose, and responsible use of knowledge.
So it's a way of being rather than a club. Makes sense, but how do they operate? What's their goal?
One of their main functions, Gold believes, is to create and imprint new artifacts with knowledge for future generations, like planting seeds of wisdom.
Interesting. So they're passing it on. Why go through the trouble of making artifacts? Why not just, write it down?
Well, it's about resonance. Some knowledge can only be transmitted through experience, through interacting with specific objects or places that hold a certain energy.
So it's not just the information itself, but the energy it carries, like how a song evokes a specific emotion, even if you don't understand the music theory behind it.
Exactly. These artifacts act as vessels carrying the potential for transformation and insight.
A time capsule of wisdom waiting to be opened. But how do we become ready to receive this knowledge? Gold mentions becoming an artifact. What does that even mean?
It's a deep concept. Gold suggests that by interacting with these emitting artifacts, we can transform ourselves.
Our consciousness shifts.
Yes, our abilities expand, we detach from the limitations of our normal selves.
He even uses the phrase, die before you die. Intense.
It is. It's about confronting and transcending our ego, letting go of old patterns and beliefs to access this higher knowledge and being.
So we have to shed our old selves to become vessels for this wisdom. I see why Gold emphasizes preparation and guidance. This is serious stuff. But how do we even know which artifacts hold this hidden knowledge? Is it just ancient relics? Or could it be something as simple as, a rock we find on a hike?
That's the big question. Gold suggests we're surrounded by artifacts, both old and new, that hold the potential for unlocking hidden knowledge. Could be a book, a piece of art, a place, anything with an energy that aligns with our seeking.
So it's not about finding some specific object. It's about being attuned to the energy of things. The key could be right in front of us.
That's the idea. It's about cultivating our intuition, our awareness, and following those synchronicities that guide us.
Developing a sixth sense for hidden knowledge. But this becoming an artifact thing, still a bit abstract. Any real-world examples?
Well, Gold describes his own experiences as a kind of becoming an artifact. Through his travels, interacting with ancient sites, he felt his consciousness shifting, his perceptions expanding. He started seeing connections he hadn't noticed before, experiencing synchronicities that defied logic.
So he's walked the walk. That gives his words more weight. But here's another question. If we can become artifacts, can we also imprint knowledge onto objects?
That's interesting. Gold touches on it, but doesn't fully explore it. He does mention this concept of cellular data.
Cellular data.
The idea that knowledge can be stored and transmitted through our cells.
Like a library of knowledge in our DNA.
It's a bold idea. It challenges our understanding of memory and inheritance.
So we're not just individuals. We carry the wisdom of our ancestors within us. But how do we access it? Is it some kind of deep meditation?
Gold leaves us with more questions than answers there. He suggests unlocking the cellular data requires a profound shift in consciousness, a merging of our individual awareness with the collective consciousness of humanity.
We're going deep here. This whole conversation is changing how I think about history, knowledge, even reality itself.
That's Gold's work for you. It's about breaking down those old ways of thinking and inviting us to explore the vast unknown within and beyond us.
So we've gone from breathing techniques to secret societies to DNA memory banks. This book is a wild ride, right?
It really is. And what I find fascinating is how Gold connects all these ideas together, showing how they're not just separate concepts, but pieces of a larger puzzle.
Yeah, like that idea that we're surrounded by artifacts, not just in museums, but everywhere, holding hidden knowledge. But how do we know what to pay attention to? There's so much information out there.
Gold talks about attunement, becoming more sensitive to the subtle energies around us, learning to listen to those whispers from the hidden guides.
So it's about quieting the noise and trusting our intuition, like becoming an antenna for this hidden knowledge.
Precisely. And that receptivity, that ability to tune in, is closely tied to that process of becoming an artifact ourselves.
Oh,
As we let go of old patterns, we create space for this new awareness to emerge.
so the more we work on ourselves, the more we can perceive what's hidden right in front of us. Like we're interacting with this hidden reality all the time, but we're just not tuned in enough to notice.
Exactly. And remember, Gold's science of keys. Using specific emotional states to unlock the knowledge encoded in artifacts, that plays a role here too.
Thinking about all this is making me realize I've had experiences that kind of line up with what Gold's describing. Like visiting certain places and feeling this intense knowing, this connection to something ancient and powerful, or even holding an object that triggered a flood of emotions and memories that seemed to come from somewhere beyond me.
I think that's what's so powerful about Gould's work. It validates those intuitive glimpses we often dismiss as coincidence or imagination. It gives us a framework for understanding those moments when we feel connected to something bigger than ourselves.
It's definitely given me a whole new perspective, especially this idea of cellular data and accessing the collective wisdom of humanity. It's mind-boggling. But if we could tap into that, what could it mean for us, for society?
That's the question, isn't it? Imagine the possibilities if we could access the wisdom of countless generations, the potential for healing, for innovation, for solving the world's problems. It's both exciting and a little daunting.
It is. It's like Gould is giving us the keys to a vast, unexplored territory and saying, go explore, but be mindful. But accessing that knowledge, wouldn't it require a huge shift in consciousness? Not just for individuals, but for everyone.
Absolutely. Gould suggests we're at a turning point in human evolution, being called to step into a higher level of awareness, a more interconnected way of being. And access to this hidden knowledge, to the wisdom within us, could be a key part of that.
Wow, that's a powerful thought to wrap up with. This deep dive into Visions in the Stone has been amazing. It's challenged me, opened my mind, and left me with a sense of awe and possibility.
And I think that's the real gift of Gould's work. It reawakens that sense of wonder, that curiosity to explore the hidden dimensions of reality, and that invitation to step into our full potential as conscious beings.
So, to our listeners, we leave you with this. If, as Gould suggests, we're surrounded by artifacts containing hidden knowledge, what messages are you receiving? What synchronicities are you noticing? And what wisdom lies within you, waiting to be discovered? Thanks for joining us on this deep dive, and until next time, keep seeking, keep questioning, and keep exploring.